Um, Today was a pretty interesting DR day. I didn't get to trade as much as I wanted to. I had a really busy day at work, and so kind of missed a couple of pretty easy DR trades. But as always, let's talk about it. Um, we'll start with our range. We had about a 16, 17 point range today. So actually not bad, right? So you normally go 16 to 20 plus is what I consider a really good range for DR. Now here's we got 10:30 and we stayed up at the high side, and we actually end up confirming high on this candle right here. Okay, if you guys can see it, we went like one tick above DR, but we closed there, right? That's the definition of confirmation for us. And so you know the next candle, it opened right on the DR line, right? And so if you know my style, now you could have taken that trade there, right? I'm not saying not to. What I'm saying for my rules, I don't take a trade unless it retraces below the, in this case, the DR line, right? The DR high line. So, this would have been this was at least a 5 point trade here. You could have taken that and you could have been done for the day, honestly, if you really wanted to use that route. But for me, like I said, I don't take. I prefer, or 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to take that trade because I'm expecting a retrace much further down into the DR range, and so I had to wait a little bit, right? So it's all about patience, right? PAYtience, okay. And so price goes up, comes back down, and then we finally, what I consider a deep retracement into the DR range. Matter of fact, here's another thing that was interesting today. We went all the way down to the zero point 0.5 fib, and we did not pierce it here, right? We stayed right above it or right on it, right? So if you guys know how I trade, what that means for me is that my order, once we went below it, right? So we went below the DR, went below the IDR. So that means that my order is now on the DR, on IDR high at this point, because we actually never went down below this blue zero point 0.5 fib line. Okay, so as I do my ladder, it's always one rung above where price is, right? So because I want to get picked up and carried in that direction, and so price comes all the way down, get very close, comes back up, and then it actually picks me up. And here's based off of yesterday, where yesterday I got stopped out twice. I was a little bit more cautious today, and so I don't know if you can see. Well, if you follow ICT, just in here, there's actually I'll kind of map it out here. There was actually a bearish fair value gap right in here, and so when price kind of hit this top of that fair value gap and it started to reject off of it, I was like, nah, let me just take my profit real quick. So that was actually 4 points. Okay, so I took a 4 point trade here, and then so price comes back down, then it starts going back up again. I'm like, wait a minute, this okay, maybe I shouldn't worry about it too much. So on this red candle, price comes back down again. This time it pierces the DR high. All right, doesn't go way down below the IDR, but goes DR high. So I actually put a trade on there. So when it's kind of moving back up, it got picked up here, and then that's another 5 points, right? So, well, that is actually 5 points for today. So that was, that's 9 points there, and that's right before lunchtime, and that's when things get busy. Now this is some great action here. If you're trading that way, you can again, there's some ICT concepts in here that you could have used, but again, we confirmed high, so I'm looking for things to go high. Right? That's my rule. I'm not trying to, do reverse trading on the market. I'm trying to go with the flow of the market. So, price comes all the way back down right before 1 o'clock, and I did jump on this trade because when price comes down, it pierces that 0.5 fib. All right, and then you notice, right, my order now is right here on this on the 0.5 fib line itself. Price comes back up, picks me up, and carries me up in this direction for a pretty cool 10 point trade right at 1 o'clock. So that was actually a really nice one. And then it could have done that a couple more times, right? So This one I started to get really busy. But this one comes down. You could have actually rode that back up at least 5 points on that one. That was an easy one, relatively easy, right? I say easy as if like this is none of this is easy, but if you have your strategy and you know your rules and you're willing to follow your rules, then you can do these things, right? And then the last time it did that, I actually jumped in here again, came down, went down below the 0.5 fib one more time. Put my order in, got picked up, and then this is another 10 points off of that trade. So, this was I could let it ride probably a little higher than that, but, got to 5, still moving up to 10, right? So still following my rules and how I actually do my risk management. So, all in all, just a really good day. Again, I wish I could have had a little more time to just kind of focus, because again, there were a couple other trades here I would have taken potentially, and nothing major, but again, still, like even at 350, once price came down and it went down, I could have put an order right here on this 0.5 on the DR high, and that would have been another probably 5 points or so. So there's opportunities throughout the day, and I love days like this when price is really interacting with the DR ladder, as I call it, because it just gives you opportunities to, if you miss one, there's another opportunity coming, right? So, all in all, really good day, a really good DR day, and definitely made up for yesterday, which is kind of what I was talking about yesterday. It was, losing 2 trades or being stopped out twice yesterday. I wasn't like overly concerned about it at all. I was actually happy because I'd followed my rules, and that's just the way that that price reacted yesterday. Today was the same thing. If I still follow the same rules, just have to act the reaction that I needed or that I was expecting today. I think I actually posted a screenshot of the Asian session yesterday, which was kind of the same message of, because I took 5 points off of that last night while I was watching something on TV, and it was like, follow the rules, and things tend to work out. The other thing, and this is an ICT thing, and I don't want to bring this up too much, but this line here is what they call that new week opening gap. It's the gap between Friday at 5 o'clock when the market closes, and then Sunday night at 6 p.m. when the market opens, and that's for futures. And so that's also another one of those kind of like that midnight open, sometimes how it acts as support resistance. Notice that we spent a lot of time playing around with this new week opening gap here today. So again, just another thing. And as we start to get deeper in our trading journey, we can start to say, okay, well, what else can I leverage to give me confluence or to let me know, hey, might not be a good trade. And so that's one of those things. Still love my midnight open. Still is a weekly open. Still have the fair value gaps on. There just happen to be none that are open right now. But those are all the things that really help to make me look at DR in a smarter way, as I call it, because I'm looking for confluence and ways that the other strategies are helping me to really understand what DR is going to do. So anyway, hope this was helpful. Always appreciate the comments and the likes and all that good stuff. And we'll do it again tomorrow. All right, everybody have a good night.